The last class of fungi are deuteromycetes. Deuteromycetes are otherwise called fungi imperfecti. Why are they called imperfect? Because perfect stage is absent. What is perfect stage? Sexual stage. So only asexual or a vegetative phase is known. Suppose if a sexual phase is found, that will be similar to either ascomycetes or basidiomycetes. So that will be shifted to that group, whichever it is belonging to. So in this group only asexual stages are remaining. Asexual spores are produced and they are called conidia. What about the hypha? Hypha is a septate and branched, and it is sometimes it is a multinucleated also, each cell. They are mainly saprophytes and some are parasites, and they are the main decomposers helping in mineral cycling. Examples are Alternaria, Colletotrichum, Trichoderma. Trichoderma is a kind of fungus which can cause a skin disease in human like a ringworm, athlete's foot, etc. So these are the main things you have to learn in kingdom fungi. Virus, viroids, prions and lichens, these organisms have not got a particular place in our classification system. Viruses actually did not find any place in a classification since they are not considered truly living. Because if we understand living as those organisms that have cell structure, but viruses do not have a cell, then what do they have? They are non-cellular organisms. They are characterized by having an inert crystalline structure outside the living cell. That means they do not show any symptoms of life or any signs of life outside a living cell. Only once they infect a cell, they take over the machinery of the host cell to replicate themselves, killing the host. So you can imagine a situation where some guest is coming to your house. Okay, so you know that you offer them certain things and they are staying with us. Whereas viruses are like hijackers. They are coming inside our house. Imagine they go to your kitchen, use all your vessels and taking all the grocery that you have kept, and they start cooking. After cooking, they go to your wardrobe, take out your clothes, wear it, and use your bed to sleep. And it is like that. So they come inside the cell and they use our cell machinery to multiply and live. Now, in this picture, you can see a tobacco mosaic virus. So, what is happening here is the outside you can see a protein coat and inside there is RNA. So, this is the structure of virus. Do they have cell? No, no plasma membrane, no cytoplasm, no cell organelles, no nucleus. But genetic material is there. So, that genetic material can be DNA or RNA, and that genetic material is protected by a protein coat. So the protein coat has many individual units. You can see here many small structures. Those are capsomeres. So they together form a covering called a capsid. This is another virus which is a bacteriophage. Phage is a word for virus. Bacteriophage means the phage or virus that attacks bacteria. So don't get confused. Bacteriophage is not a bacteria, but it's a virus that attacks bacteria. But here you can see it has a structure like a satellite. On top you can see the head part which is having a genetic material, that is a nucleic acid, and followed by that there is a collar and there is a tail part, etc. So when they infect a bacteria, actually all these neck, tail and head, everything will be left out. That is, a protein coat is left out. Only the genetic material will be going inside the bacteria. So what is the word meaning of virus? It means venom or poisonous fluid. Dmitry Ivanovsky in 1892 recognized certain microbes as causal organism for the mosaic disease of tobacco. Means in tobacco there is a disease called a mosaic disease. This is caused by some agents. It was discovered by Dmitry Ivanovsky. These were found to be smaller than bacteria because when they filtered using a bacteria proof filters, usually bacteria will not be going through that, but here they are going. That means viruses are smaller than bacteria. Then M.W. Bajornik in 1898 demonstrated that extract of these infected plants of tobacco could cause infection in healthy plants and named the new pathogen as virus because, and they call the fluid as contagium vivum fluidum or infectious living fluid. They found that it can be spread from one plant to the other. Then W. M. Stanley in 1935 showed that viruses could be crystallized and crystals consist largely of proteins. They are inert outside, means inactive outside their specific host cell, and viruses are obligate parasite. Obligate means what? Without a host, they cannot survive. In addition to proteins, I told viruses can also have a genetic material. But we know that genetic materials can be DNA or RNA. So viruses also can have RNA as their genetic material, or some viruses can have DNA as their genetic material. But no virus can have both RNA and DNA. Either RNA or DNA will be the genetic material. So we can call virus as a nucleoprotein. Why? Nucleic acid is surrounded by a protein coat, and the genetic material is the infectious part. It only goes inside the host cell. The outer part protein will be left out. In general, viruses that infect plants have single-stranded RNA. RNAs are usually single-stranded, so that is present in plant viruses. And viruses that infect animals have either single-stranded or double-stranded RNA or DNA. Okay, DNA is always double stranded. So in plant, they have only single stranded RNA as the infectious agent, whereas in animals, it can be a single stranded RNA, double stranded RNA, or a double stranded DNA. Bacterial viruses or bacteriophages, means viruses that infect bacteria, are usually double stranded DNA viruses. The protein coat called capsid, made of small subunits called capsomeres, protects the nucleic acid. The capsomeres were arranged helical or polyhedral geometrical forms, as we saw previously, like this. They can be arranged, or it is a polyhedral structure as well. AIDS in humans is caused by a virus. It's a virus disease. Other viral diseases are mumps. You can see swelling in the cheek part, that is mumps. And smallpox, it's actually completely eradicated now. It is caused by smallpox virus. Then herpes. Herpes is an infection which can be fatal sometimes, and also influenza, a common cold and other related symptoms. Whereas when it comes to plants, the symptoms can be mosaic formation, means patches will form on the leaf, then leaf rolling and curling. Can see in the picture, second picture. If they curl, what happens? The surface area reduce, then photosynthesis will be affected. Or yellowing and vein clearing. You can see in the third picture, and dwarfing and stunted growth. The plant will not show proper growth. So we learn viruses have both protein coat and genetic material. They don't have any cell. Now we are going to study about viroids. Viroids were discovered in 1971. Theo Daner discovered a new infectious agent that was smaller than viruses and caused potato spindle tuber disease. So viroids cause a disease like potato spindle tuber disease. So they are smaller than viruses. How? Because they don't even have the protein code. They have only the naked free RNA as their genetic material to survive. The RNA of the viroid was low molecular weight also. So viroids are like viruses, but they don't lack a protein code. They have only RNA as their genetic material, and they can cause a disease called potato spindle tuber disease. Now, another interesting one. So, when protein coat is lacking, we call as viroids. Now, what if the genetic material is lost, only protein coat is there? Then that is called a prion. In modern medicine, certain infectious neurological diseases were found to be transmitted by an agent consisting of abnormally folded protein. The agent was similar in size to viruses, but these agents were called prions because they don't have a genetic material. They have only protein. The most notable disease caused by prions are bovine spongiform encephalopathy (BSE), commonly called mad cow disease in cattle, and its analogous variant Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease (CJD) in humans. We are coming to lichens. Lichens are symbiotic associations, that is, both species live together and they mutually benefit. Means it's a like a give and take relationship, and it is usually happens between many species. But here, lichen is an association between an algae and fungi, and algal component is called a phycobiont, and fungal component is called a mycobiont. You know, algae are autotrophic, so obviously they will be giving food to the fungi. What will fungi give back? Fungi provide shelter and absorb mineral nutrients and water for its partner. So close is their association that if one saw a lichen in nature, one would never imagine that they had two different organisms within them. Like you can see in this picture how associated they are, as if they are a single structure. Now, they are good pollution indicators. That means wherever there is no air pollution, you will find lichen. But if you find lichen disappearing from one place, that means actually that air is polluted. So now if you want to see lichens, you have to go to hilly areas where the atmospheric condition is serene. So with this, we are coming to an end of the second chapter, biological classification. If you like the lesson, please share with your friends. And also, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching Biology My Passion.